Good afternoon, morning, mouse rates. It's part 2 of the Turbo Tortoise Tech Awards. This is where I give my absolute favorite peripherals of the year a little bit of a highlight. And this week we're doing pretty much my favorite category. I love gaming mice. I find it to be the most personal sort of selection for interfacing with a machine because it's got to feel just right. It gives you the clicks and the sense of feedback and all of the lovely things that you're going to need, especially as an FPS player. It's like the most important thing you have access to for aiming and skitting the other Mensa. So we have 7 categories to go through, and let's jump straight into it. Starting off with the best budget gaming mouse, we are going with the Cooler Master MM700 series. You can see, for instance, this MM710 is as low as $399. Normally, the MM710 and 711 are about 500-600 Rand, but they come with Pixel 3389 sensors and on switches, and they are a little bit on the smaller side. So if you want a wide fat boy ergo version, they've got you covered with the 720 as well. So they're going to be uber light, uber ergonomic, and just have generally very good build quality. 2-year warranty on these. They, like I say, between 500 and 600 Rand almost always. You're getting an incredibly good sensor on these with on switches. A really nice feed pattern on the bottom of most of these as well. So they're just damn good for the amount of money that you're putting in. Moving on to best budget wireless, it's the Mojo M2. Bang for buck on this is incredibly good. Similar to the other mouse, it's got a Pixar sensor. It's a 3335. It's a little bit less spec than those, but it's 79 grams and it's wireless. It is a little bit smaller. It does still have pretty decent switches. I believe they are the Kale switches, so they are going to last a considerable amount of time. But overall build quality on this is exceptionally good for 800 Rand, and you can see the review right over here. Then for best overall wireless, we've got the glorious Model 02 Super Light. It's incredibly good as well, bang for buck wise. It's not as good value overall, I would say, as the Mojo M2, but if you want just a little bit more premium sort of look, feel, battery life, clicks, etc., then this is going to be the one. It's got a tuned sensor. It's a tuned Pixel 3389, and they actually knocked this out of the park compared to even the first Model O's. I've still got my first generation Model O. It improved on build quality, on the plastics and the materials used. Absolutely every single front was pretty much improved from one generation to the next, and everybody have suggested to buy one of these who doesn't want to spend 3 grand on a wireless mouse that's going to give you very good FPS and in general gaming performance has come back and said, damn mate, this thing slaps for the amount that you pay. And honestly, it would have been best budget wireless if I hadn't done the Mojo M2, but we've got to feature it here for best wireless mouse. Then for best Mamorpiga mouse, we had to give it to the Naga Pro. It's got a modular design where you can swap out the side buttons. You can see it comes in 3 different flavors over here. And most importantly, the 12 button setup for those of us WoW players with 27 bajillion active abilities. This will obviously help you smooth and streamline that, especially with its instant shift set. So you can, while holding in shift, you get another full set. So it might as well be 24 side buttons. So they've done an incredibly good job with this, and having actually reviewed it as well, I can pop that out for you here. Then for best FPS mouse, it's the mouse that I actually daily drive in this 59 gram Sublime PTFE feet having absolute masterpiece. Comes with a set of spares, as you can see as well, so there's actually pretty good value in it compared to others in the market. But just the look, feel and performance of this product, I'm not even really into looks and stuff that much, but it does look quite sleek. It is basically a variant of like the Model O, but it's just better. I find that the slightly wider size on it and the slightly wider back grip area over there, you can see that they made it slightly wider towards the rear, really works for me. And every single time I use this, I was just like, I'm kind of falling in love with this thing. And eventually my mouse broke, so I went and got the Pulsefire Haste. So now this is literally what I daily drive. And once again, I have reviewed it, so I can pop that out for you right over here. Then for best overkill, we had to give it to the Logitech G502X Lightspeed. I've used the hyperspeed version of this. It's basically exactly the same, but the reason that this wins overkill is because they've taken all of their best technologies and shoved it into this platform. They've given you a free scroll, as you can see by the button over the top over there. But what's insane about this mouse is just the amount of sneaky thumb buttons and side buttons that have been put into it. So you've got a sniper button up front, 2 thumb buttons over there, and then 2 next to the wheel or next to the mouse as well. So this is for people that are really living like a double life, that are playing MMO but still want a really good sensor for FPS, but then they want to play MOBAs as well with a whole bunch of item slots, but then they need free scroll for doing their web browsing, but then they need wireless because they don't want to be tied down by wire, or they want to connect it to multiple devices. You can see why this is kind of the best overkill mouse. It's got everything you're going to need regardless of the situation you're in. The only thing with it is a little bit heavy at 102 gram. It really wouldn't, I don't think, make itself incredible for FPS gaming. In general, this is the most general, like, checks every box mouse and so forth, and so therefore it's the most overkill. And finally, your best overall mouse, it's the Razer Death Adder V3 Professional. This, when it came out, it upset a couple of people who really liked the old shape, but it was exactly what I even personally wanted them to do. Having done the V2 Pro wireless, I was like, if they would just make it a little more like that and a little less sharp on that bottom right edge, I think they would have the perfect product. And they did exactly that. I was actually kind of stunned, and I think probably a number of us reviewers and stuff actually asked for that, and then they implemented it. So how can you be mad? 63 grams with no holes in it, ultra light, incredibly good battery life, one of the best sensors you're gonna get, all in a package that just is kind of unreasonably good. It's so good on the ergo, and it's so light you barely notice it's there. If money was no object, this would be the mouse that I would buy, honestly. And a lot of us in the FPS realm have gone onto this from other platforms and stuff, and I doubt those people will be going back to what they had before. And that, mind retoners, are your 7 best gaming mouse for the year. Agree or disagree? Let me know in the comments down below. What is your favorite mouse of 2023? I would love to hear more on that. We will be back next week with the headset section. I'll be doing the headphones, same kind of categories and split ups. Will give you the 7 best, from budget to best wireless and everything in between. Until then, I hope you guys stay safe, keep well. If you've enjoyed this, please do hit us up with a like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the flip side.